space to do anything outside of what's needed, necessary to get through. Being the fact, caretaking all that. But anyway, fuck all that. It's Saturday.
It's Saturday. It's Saturday.
This trip.
Your workplace is doing what?
My workplace bully is going on this trip.
So what you mean? They're gonna bully you around?
No, like she's the person who's giving me problems at my job. Like that's the reason I didn't get my promotion. Like she a hater, and so she's the fucking division head. Yeah, and so but that's okay, huh? She's about to retire. It's like all of us are waiting for her to retire.
Yeah, I bet you.
It's not just it's not just me, but she's fucking with everybody.
Aww.
And so they told us, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna go on this trip. I can chill.
Right.
I don't have to deal with. But then I thought about it. I don't have to deal with them because this is a business trip. I ain't eating with y'all. I'm not even staying at the same hotel because they already booked their stuff and told me and my coworker at quote unquote last minute. They booked their hotel and everything in November, December.
How many people are going?
I just found out 2 days ago, it's 6 or 7 of them.
Okay. But it's not that many.
I thought it was just gonna be 2.
You thought it was gonna be 2, and it's 6.
But that's okay because the hotel I'm staying at ain't near them. I'm not taking the same flight as them.
Okay,
I'm
good.
probably not even gonna leave with them. I'm thinking I'm gonna take off so it's Wednesday. It's over that Wednesday. I was thinking I was gonna stay down till the weekend because my aunt is in Ocala,
which is far from Orlando.
That's only an hour.
Is it only an hour? Oh
yeah.
Oh, that's not bad then.
It's only an hour north.
Okay.
So I was gonna stay and then chill and just stay around there until Saturday and then just drive back up.
Are you? Oh damn! You only bought a one-way ticket?
No, I didn't even book my ticket yet. They haven't. Some of them haven't even booked. I haven't booked the hotel or the ticket yet. I registered for the event. That was $1,600. And then I'm asking. It's so Deion Sanders is supposed to be there. Cheryl Lee Ralph is supposed to be there. I don't understand why.
$1,600 fucking dollars, and you don't even get a flight or a hotel room.
Nah, that's just for the event.
That's crazy.
It's a tech event for the programs that we work in.
You get some type of certification or something? Shit, what are you getting for fucking $1,600?
I don't know. I've never been to one of these conferences.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of money.
I mean, every day we got to be there. It starts on Sunday. And, it's all this networking and I guess it's about the system and all of this stuff and whatever. And I mean, whatever. My thing, I'm still going to take advantage because I ain't got time.
But it's getting nicer out here. I mean, It's not that nice. It's 70.
No, but we're going to be right. 70. It's what I saw the, what you mean? Girl, it's 30 something here. It's freezing.
It's freezing here too. Yesterday the high was 60.
Child, that's better than
it's better than cold weather.
I get it. I get it though. I get it.
It's better than New York.
Yeah. Yes. I get it. Because I'm sick of wearing I'm wearing the bubble jacket down here like it's New York weather, but I got low blood, so it's I'm cold.
I'm cool. Today is the high. I think is gonna be 72, and I'm cold at 72. We bunch of cry ass babies.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I'm still excited.
It's still good.
We're gonna be down there in the Orlando, wherever the Civic Center, whatever that center.
Yeah.
Yeah, down there, shit.
Okay.
They got these rooms at the Rose.
It's only an hour for me too. Or even in between time when the conference is over, you just let me know because that's only about an hour away from me as well.
Girl,
I'm not sure. You
I'm
could drive
here.
to Tampa before you go to Ocala, and then you can hang out in Tampa for a little bit.
I gotta see the map because I ain't got no car.
Well, I know you got all these plans. You don't even got no tickets. Shut up.
I mean, I gotta go, but and this is my thing. I'm sitting here trying to be.
You better fucking go.
I'm trying to be economical. I'm the flights that leave out of here, they're double and they're they're not straight flights. So I'm sitting here like, okay, well that means I need to leave either Charlotte or Raleigh. But should I take an Uber or like should like I'm
You
asking
could
them.
try to see if you could take a flight to Tampa. See how those tickets look. Because that's, like I said, it's only about an hour away from Orlando. So if you fly into Tampa, you rent a car and then you could go to Orlando.
But I don't want to pay for the rental.
Oh, the girl.
School ain't gonna pay for it. The school ain't gonna pay for it.
Right.
Bruh, my mama just lost her hearing aid that was $1,000. I don't have.
How the hell she lose it?
I don't know. I took her to the doctor. We got back. We going upstairs. I know she had it then. In between somewhere, it came off somewhere. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe in the car. I don't know. But I haven't had time to really. I ain't had time to really search for it.
Right.
So tomorrow, since I'm off, later on, I'm gonna get on the floor upstairs and like.
Well,
really
if you start cleaning, then maybe you find it.
Because I'm like, what in the? I mean. We went nowhere. Like I just
didn't go nowhere, right? Exactly. So it got to be there somewhere.
And again, I'm only working on 10% because what I'm pissed off about is the oversight of the fact. Because in my head, I'm thinking, how am I supposed to detect if I lose it? The lady never told me that there was an app, and if she did, I don't remember that. And then my thing is, you set up the device while we were there. Why didn't you set me up with the Bluetooth?
Right. That would have made.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's just poor customer service at my expense.
Right.
Well, because insurance doesn't pay for hearing aids.
They don't?
No. Fun fact, Medicare does not pay for hearing aids.
What?
This is why old people and I never understood that, why my mother kept getting these hearing aid things all the time. Mind you, she didn't need a hearing aid until about a year ago. But yeah, and so I'm like, she keep getting these stupid hearing aid things. Like, I'm not paying no attention. I open it up because it be mail, not label, whatever.
Right.
But then when I'm going, it's like, oh, insurance, Medicare doesn't pay. What?
That doesn't even make any sense. So all these old people are not supposed to hear?
But Medicaid does.
Oh.
Right.
So she has to so you have to be poor in order to do it?
Right.
That's some bullshit.
Right. Also, Medicaid pays for the nurse to come in. Medicaid pays for the one-on-one person to come in. Medicaid pays for the transportation aids. Medicaid pays for the Meals on Wheels. Medicaid pays for all of this.
So, do they include your income with your mother's? Is that what it is? That's why she doesn't apply for it. She doesn't get it.
Medicaid is income based.
And Jesus.
And so Medicaid is age, disabled, blind. That's your eligibility.
Blind, not deaf.
Right.
Shit.
Right.
Bullshit.
Right.
So you could be blind, but you can't be blind, but you could be deaf.
But deaf. But with Medicaid, deaf is included in that. With Medicaid.
Wow.
Because that might fall into a disability. You see what I'm saying? With Medicare is insurance because you are put into the system, and at this age, we deem you not, old enough to retire because you can't be able to probably work at this age, and so we're going to give you this Medicare because you worked and you retired and whatever the case may be. That's where, so Medicare is elder Medicaid.
Right. Which doesn't give you
But if your income is low enough, then you could possibly be eligible for the Medicaid supplement.
How low is low?
Low is, I believe,
for old people who never had a job,
old terms. What's the income? I want to say $998. It used to be $997.
Wow, really?
So if your income was over if your income was $997.81, you were ineligible.
Okay. So and then how did that? And then I guess it's people whose income has Social Security, right?
Right. And so so right there you're automatically so it doesn't make you automatically all your social security income is based on the income that you accrued while you
Right.
worked all those years.
So,
So and so every year you used to get them statements that would tell you if you were
right.
so now you got to go online to get them statements. They don't mail those no more.
Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, because I used to get that every year. I haven't
That's
had one in
right.
a while.
That's
And
right.
the thing is, for us, I know that mine Social Security is going to be like $1,200 a month now. So I could just so I'm already ineligible for Social
Right,
Security. That's what you're
exactly.
saying. That's crazy.
You're already ineligible for Medicaid
Right.
on a base level. So what happens is if you get sick and your medical bills accrue to a certain amount, which could be whatever the deductible, it could be 6,000, 7,000. Then you then could apply for Medicaid and be eligible based on that debt, right? But if you don't reach that debt within a certain window, then you miss that window, and then whenever you get sick and you need assistance, you're gonna have to reach that debt again, and that debt is at every 6 month cycle.
Wow, Jesus. And so
Okay,
she doesn't have. So she doesn't like. My mother has insurance. She still has her medical insurance from when she retired.
right now, peep
And our
this.
secondary is Medicare, Medicaid,
Right.
Medicaid.
So peep this. So peep this.
Mm-hmm.
This is how that. So this is where it falls into where your mama ain't never gonna get no Medicaid
Right, exactly.
because she has more than one income.
Right.
And that's it, and that's all. The end of the story. So America, for those, for all of you smart people out here, they told for all, especially for us, black and brown folks who got into the system of working the system and
Right,
getting whatever
right,
jobs that they
right.
got and did what they were supposed to do and retired and thought that they were going to get whatever they were supposed to get. It was
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't true.
Nope.
You will retire. You will have the money from your job until this job realizes that they can't afford to do it. And so then they will renegotiate some things. And you may get affected by that. Or the people behind you that work at that company may get affected by that. Not only that, when it comes to Social Security, again, this is why people are going crazy about Muskie being in the trust fund, which is all of our
Right.
trust funds.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, for those who work, the money when you're looking at FICA and all, who is FICA? FICA is that trust fund
Right.
that Musk is in, and they trying to get all that money out of it and want
That's
to defunk,
This is
which
the
is
stuff
the
that they
money
didn't think
that
about.
pays. It's the money that pays the Social Security to us, and that's holding for us. That's investing for us so that that money can grow. It is a trust fund.
That's crazy.
It's the United States Trust Fund
And this
that
is what
all of
nobody thought
our
about when
money.
they voted the asshole in.
Right, right. For those who work and y'all get that paycheck and y'all be mad that this money is going, who the fuck is fuck? Elon Musk is in your fight.
Mm-hmm. Somebody that we didn't elect or anybody
Right.
elect.
Nobody elected. There are people to govern that. It's a reason why your mother, because let's be clear, Social Security was started in 19 what 34.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, my mother was born
Yeah,
1941.
yeah. My mother was born in
Look, there's
41
my mother
too.
right there. She
So
just
so our so our parents are the first recipients of Social Security.
Are they really? Wow.
Yes. Yes. Think about it, Adrian.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is what I'm saying. We just got out of slavery, man.
You know what? And some
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Look, my 83-year-old mother just came in the room. I gotta be lucky that she still know how to use
that's
a
right. That's right.
computer and use
We need to be
TikTok.
glad that we have our 83-year-old mother. My mother gonna be 84 on the 17th.
I love that. Oh, happy birthday,
You know
mommy.
what I'm saying? Like, we need to realize that our parents who are in their 70s and 80s and 60s are the first recipients of Social Security.
And then the thing is that I think the young people don't even realize
They
how
don't even
important it is.
realize that. They
Nope.
don't and we're not explaining that to them.
Right. Because you know why? The young people's grandparents or you know, I'm trying to think because I'm like, well, I
Some of
guess
them are still working.
yeah, right,
Some of
and
them
it's
are
still
still
young,
working.
right,
Let's look at how many people have passed on.
right. That's our generation, though,
Right.
Crystal.
How
I
this
think
is what I'm saying. How
we're
many
gonna be like the
60
lost
how
generation.
right, how many 60 and 50-year olds have been
Mhm.
passing like
Right,
flies?
right. Every time I turn around, it's a young somebody in my generation that passes away.
Yes.
So we're gonna be like our
All of
generation is
these
not gonna get Social Security because
right.
nobody's gonna be alive.
And then you got these super geniuses talking about, oh, it's 160-year-olds getting Social Security. No, they're not. They're just registered. They're still registered in the Social Security system. They're not
Hmm.
getting checks.
Right, and if
Your
they get
social
sick, they have
your
those
social
jobs that give you
security your
pensions.
any government fund gets cut off automatically after a certain time when it's not being utilized, whether you alive or not. Your food stamps get cut after 3 months.
Mm-hmm. They sure do.
After 3 months, your food stamps will start getting deducted every month. The last third month will get deducted. So if you don't utilize that third month, it's gonna take it.
Let me tell you, and then there's my aunt who's I don't know, she never really had a job in her damn life, and
Hmm.
she gets $8 a month in food stamps. She like how insulting is that? Eight, and she's
Shit, my aunt was
76 or
sickly.
something like that.
My aunt was sickly. Yes, because her Social Security. That's why her Social Security is right at the line. She's getting the base of a Social Security retirement.
Mhm.
So my aunt was sickly, but she worked, and she wasn't getting much money. My aunt was not getting much money. I'm talking about sick, kidney transplant,
Oh
was on
wow.
dialysis, didn't work. I'm 43. My aunt hadn't worked my entire life.
Right,
She was sickly.
and she didn't get
My
nothing.
my aunt was getting $21 in food stamps.
I mean, like,
And that was back in the day. That was back in the day. She's deceased now, but that was back in the day. 90s, the 2000s. She
right,
passed in 2013. So she was not. She wasn't even getting nowhere near $100 in no food stamps, and she was sickly. Sickly.
right. Let me ask you something, Crystal, because I was talking to my mother about this the other day because my niece and like with my son, like my niece just had a baby and she's baby 6 months old. She's already given the baby food, and I'm like, that's mad early. But I remember, like, is the WIC program still around? Because WIC is what used to tell me, what the stage is, because they used to give you your WIC used to give you like coupons to get you
Right.
milk at that stage and give you cereal at that stage. Is the WIC program still around?
So I'm not. So WIC is a part. WIC is probably still around, but WIC is one of the programs that they trying to cut.
Wow, it gotta be because I don't even know
WIC
nobody
is
talking about they're on WIC anymore. And I
right,
think WIC
because
used to be for
also
old people
let's
too.
be
I guess
mindful,
it was for
Adrian.
babies and it was for the older people. You used to get those
Right,
government cheese and milk and cereal and stuff like that. So I wonder
but
if they I
but
wonder
be mindful that those programs are also based on eligibility, and they use the standard weight charts and things to disqualify children. And so
wow, I didn't know that
what
either.
children do you think are disqualified? Those heavy set, fat, black and brown children.
Right. Oh wow.
Which we what I'm saying, which we know the baby fat, we know that don't stay long, but if you don't fall into that standard, then you will lose certain things. You might not get this milk, you might not get this thing, you might get it changes based on, or you might be ineligible because of the weight.
Mm-mm. But I would think that would be the type of program that will get you on the right path of getting on a better diet because you don't have to be
Why
on
we're
Sunday.
talking about government. Let's talk about government programs. Let's talk about those programs. I worked in those programs.
Right. That's why I
And
asked you.
so somebody coming in, and me being the person I'm thinking, like, I think a lot of people think, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna help these people. I'm gonna help these people.
Right.
I'm gonna
It's
help
not
these
it's
people.
not made to help people.
No.
Mm-mm.
And none of those programs are, but if you come in and you use it the way you need to get where you need to go, then it will work for you. But you also gonna need an outside support system.
Right. And how many people have that? Because usually the outside support system is on the same type of programs.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so what? It still becomes a cycle. It becomes a cycle of the system. And so when you come in You know, and I can say working down here in the South and working in New York City, because you know I did that for 4 years there,
Yeah.
and then I worked in several counties here. And so in New York, it was I was working for the shelter system. I was working in East River,
Oh wow.
and
Okay.
so and we serviced 35,000 homeless people. We
Wow.
served all five boroughs. All of those people had to come to that building. If you lived in Staten Island, you had to bring your ass to that building.
Oh wow. Really?
Right, right. How inconvenient for the homeless or the
Yeah,
uh,
because
or
how
the
they gonna get
unhoused.
there?
I'm sorry, unhoused.
How
You know
they
what I'm
gonna get
saying?
there? That doesn't make any sense.
How inconvenient for the unhoused person that has nowhere to live, and you making them travel all the way across five
Yeah.
cities,
Right.
five
Because if you in
cities.
Staten Island, you got to go over the water. You got to go
That's
over the
right.
bridge. Unbelievable. So and so that these programs are made so that you can't get it because that's always they always say oh they'll deny you the first time and then you got to reapply. It's like so
So
why
Pete,
would you even have it?
the process should so for us. So this is what they did as well. I was considered a universal worker, so we had to have a college degree.
Hmm.
We did all the programs. We did the cash assistance, we did the food stamps, and the Medicaid. But the thing was, and I'm gonna say this: Medicaid will always be a known unknown.
Unknown, unknown. What does that
Right.
mean?
Which means I can tell you about Medicaid, but I can't tell you about Medicaid. And I didn't work. I've worked for adult Medicaid. I've worked for family and children's Medicaid, and I've worked emergency services. You know,
Mhm.
I cannot tell you what happens after you are approved. I cannot tell you what to do if you have an issue with a doctor, and I can't tell you what to do if something's wrong with the payment. And some I can't tell you what to do if there's a certain billing type issue. I can't tell you what to do if you need a service or a referral for something, and there's nobody to really talk to about that.
Now, is it because you're not allowed to, or is that you just don't know?
We just don't know.
See, that's not good
They don't
either.
even teach. They don't even train it. Now, mind you, we be in training for about now for New York City. They put you in training for like 10 weeks. I was in training for like 2 months before I even got on the floor.
Wow. And all that training, they didn't tell you what
All
happens
that training is policy,
wow.
and it's only policy on eligibility.
I mean,
It's not. It's not policy on the working of the healthcare Medicaid,
which would
and
be
then
smart, right? So tell me what the ins and out, the beginning to the end,
right.
how to
You know
get
what I'm
these people
saying?
off of
So
it.
I can tell you the process. I can tell you how to maintain it. I can tell you what to do to maintain it. I can tell you how to make sure you're going to have to update your address all the time. Make sure that it's current. Make sure that you respond to the letters. Make sure that you read them. Make sure that you put the appeals in. Make sure that you show up. And if you don't, make sure you got proof. Make sure that, you know what I'm saying? I can tell you how to maintain that case.
But you won't that you but you don't be able to tell them how to get off of it.
I can tell you how to get off of it too, per se, but you have maintaining it means getting off of it.
Mm,
Because if you don't maintain it, you're gonna have to always reapply, and you ain't gonna never be stable enough
that
to
is true.
to get out.
Right. Who really
You
and
know what I'm
then
saying?
and who do those and then sometimes I mean what's the possibility that they even want to get out? Because if I'm getting
Well,
food stamps,
if
I don't want to get out of it. I want to
I
keep on
mean
getting my food stamps.
food, so I'm gonna say this: food stamps is a supplement.
Mm-hmm.
Food stamps is not food stamps is in addition to what you should already be doing. But if you don't have any other means, then that is what you're relying on. You know
And
what
the
I'm
thing is
saying?
that how can it be an addition when as like I can't even afford like right now I would love to get me some damn food stamps.
Well, that's because the poverty level standard doesn't apply to us.
Right, which is crazy.
Because right, because we are supposed to be considered working class people, and working class people shouldn't need it. It's only for the quote unquote poor. But the problem is working class is also poor. That's the
Right.
problem. That's the thing. And they not understanding that. The same people that are providing the service, these civil servants, some of them are receiving it as well. And there's nothing wrong with that because this is not a business.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This is a service for people who cannot afford. This is the service for people who cannot fend for themselves. There are people on this earth and on this planet and on this land that cannot cognitively take care of themselves. And so as a country, the United States is taking the responsibility to take care of their citizens. And this is what they came up with, when they realized this at some time. You know what I'm saying?
And then they're trying to get rid of it.
But what they see is that you have the poor that was created,
Right.
with us in mind.
Right.
And so then they put the stigma that we're poor, we want to be poor, but we were already at this disadvantage. And so this system that was created was not for us. It was for them.
Yep, it sure was. It sure was.
But then we had people that fought for us and said, wait a minute, we already been here and we've been disadvantaged from the beginning. And why are we not entitled to these things? And so then, you can't deny that we're citizens, so you say on paper. And so, you don't want to uproar because you need us because we are the largest consumers in this United States. And so you got to appease us somehow. And so this is how Democrats this is how Black people kind of got with the Democrats. Because the Democrats promised
is that when it switched over? Because wasn't the South always Republican?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. See, I know, little son.
Yes. This is kind of how it kind of became a split where it was like, oh, the Democrats like, there were Black folks who was like, look, we need we need allies. And I say this, it doesn't matter if every single Black American gets it together. It doesn't matter if every single Black American gets it together. It is not enough of us.
That's crazy.
If we just look at the numbers, it's not enough of us. How many of us is in the United States? If we want to just say Black Americans, we're only 14% of the population. It's not enough of us. If every single one of us, and listen, include that's not even those who are recorded, because everybody doesn't fill out the census.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because where do you think they get the numbers from? The fucking census.
Right. Exactly.
This is why you don't have shit in your neighborhoods, because y'all don't fill the census out. You sitting there worrying about, they're going to find out where. They already know where you are. Don't you pay a bill? Don't you get welfare? Don't you like, what are you, dumb?
Because they're running for somebody.
You worried about, you're not accounted for, so why would they consider you?
Right.
That's what the census is for.
And
that's what it has become. That's what it's for now. Now, the census was, of course, to record the people back in the early 1900s, but whatever, that's another story. Because half of the shit was wrong. You got to remember, the people that was writing it down, guess what? They was ignorant. They couldn't read either.
Right.
They act like they're so much smarter than us. They couldn't read either.
Right.
Because when I look at the documents of my ancestors, all of them, the names misspelled.
Right. Or changed.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and that was even going back to 1941, because my mother's name is not the name that she was supposed to be. My cousin, my aunts, and all of them were not the names that were supposed to be. That how many last names were changed because they couldn't even say it or spell it.
That's right.
And that's why we got so many.
So let's be mindful. A lot of us are all first generations of something of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is we've been so busy trying to catch up, to what we didn't have, that we're not realizing what we have, what we still don't have, and what we're losing. And now we've lost all of this. And within the last, and we can say this, in the last 40 something years is where it all happened. And you know what I believe. It was the C era. It was the C era.
You're so silly.
No, it was the C era, man. But anyway, back to welfare. Because at the end of the day, and it all correlates back to the programs, the welfare, all of that, the C era. What happened? You had families disadvantaged to maximum levels in large cities.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a war crime.
Wow.
That needs to be. I agree with someone who said it needs to be investigated, and then can root where we really went downhill. That's what really unalived the Black Americans. There are other things, the same things these people be talking about on TikTok. Oh, patriarchy. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Experts. They're all experts on nothing over here.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely, yeah. There's patriarchy. Definite. Yeah, yeah, yes.
Well, what else is there?
Right. But what? But the every. But at the end of the day, it's been that. It's been that. So, but
Exactly.
it wasn't C. It wasn't the C era. The C era wasn't there, and then it was there, and then here we are now with all of these broken families. Because at the end of the day, women could have been able to take care of their children if there wasn't the disadvantage against us as a people.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't need the patriarchy wouldn't work because we would go back to the maternal takeover.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
we could finesse in that because we always figure it out. Black women always figure it out.
All the time.
So all of this shit that's happening. That's why they resting. That's why we on the black women resting shit because we've done enough. We've all went and got college degrees. We've all done better. We've all tried to raise our children. We've all realized that they become adults and we can't control them and that is your life. And if you fuck up, it's on you.
Right. Shit. Now they want
You know what I'm
to
saying?
take care of you.
So once you realize that, what the fuck? We rested now.
And then can it handle it?
So the question will be,
What's the question?
I don't know. I feel like the statement is I'm gonna see what the walls look. I'm just gonna sit back and see what the walls look like. And that comes from The Color Purple when Celia was sitting there waiting to see what the walls gonna look like when Suge Avery was gonna throw that plate out that looked good. She didn't throw that plate out that looked good. I'm just gonna sit back and see what the walls look like because this is not my fight. What's happening right now is not my fight.
Nope.
So, I feel like, if and for anybody who has told somebody better, if I done told you different, if I done told you how to do work the system, if I done told you how to get your business and do it this way, if I done told you how to get lower car insurance, if I done told you how to, you know what I'm saying, get a better real estate agent, or you don't need one to sell this house if you trying to do this, if I done told you that shit, I done did my job. And I'm about
Exactly.
to go sit down.
Right.
And whatever happens to you is on you.
Exactly. And stop trying to make it seem like it's my. Now we got to try to do something together and unite.
Because the problem is, and I was having this conversation with my coworker because he's like, things that happen, it's on you. I said, but
Really?
I said, it's not fair if they haven't been given the information. I said, it hasn't. I said, we already at a disadvantage. Black and browns are already at a disadvantage because we did not create this mess.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're already at a disadvantage. So we need to give each other grace with that. So if I get information, I need to be sharing that shit.
But nobody wants to share. That's
Right.
I know that doesn't make
Because not realizing that we are on in a country that is full of opportunity. It's full of opportunity. It's full of land.
That's why other
and
countries want to
opportunity.
come here. That's why other people from
Right.
other countries want to come here.
It's full of land and opportunity, but we have to figure out how to finesse that shit without disadvantage.
And that's crazy because we're a people that are a finesse.
Yes.
Know how to make a dollar out of 15 cents.
Right. But the problem is we too busy finessing each other.
Mm.
We're too busy finessing each other when we should be finessing them.
Right. And why
We
you
are
think
too busy finessing each other. We are
think,
too busy.
intimidated?
Yes, because we're scared that if I give you the information, you're not, and you do better than me, then you're not going to share with me.
That's
because
right.
I don't trust you. Because we don't have a trust with each other because that was broken when the C era magnified on the black community. Because I
Yeah.
don't trust you because because when I was a kid, my mom or my dad was on candy and they left me.
Wow.
I don't trust you. The people that look like me, the people that brought me here.
Now,
I
do you
don't
think that the
trust
younger
I don't
generation is gonna
I
do
don't I
better
don't
at
trust this
this?
I don't trust this babysitter that did something to me
Right.
that looked like me. I don't
Mhm.
trust my cousin that looked like me that did something to me. I don't
Mhm.
trust that neighbor that yelled at me when I was trying to tell them that something was going on.
Right.
I don't
Wow.
trust that. I don't trust nobody.
So you think the younger generation is better off?
No,
More,
because
more
they
of a
don't. They
trusting
don't
thing?
know because they don't. They don't because they don't under. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I don't know yet. I don't not.
Yeah.
It's not getting no better because now education is no. I say no because these kind of conversation and this mindset, the mindset that a lot of not a lot that only a few of us live in is further being diminished.
Right. So they're
I
not
keep
teaching
tell
the
I say,
younger
I always
generation.
tell you all the time, I'm an alien. You an alien, Adrian. We aliens, man.
We are aliens.
You
Because
know what I'm saying? And
and you would think
it's not a
it's
lot of us. You know what I mean?
there really isn't. There really isn't a lot of
And
people who
so
do
we are a lot. I say this, and I say this because a lot of me and a lot of the people, we don't have no children.
that. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is it. Michael Jackson over here.
Just
So I am the legacy. I'm the legacy. I'm not I don't have a legacy to leave. I am the legacy. So whatever I'm doing is for now, and whatever I share to other people, I hope I leave, great things with them.
do you
You know what
do
I'm saying?
you, do
But
you
I
talk like
can't
this to the kids at your school, at your college?
I mean, I would have to record my legacy for them.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't know me.
Right.
They're
You ever
not they're
thought
not a
about
part
going
of my
into
breed.
teaching, Crystal?
Huh?
Have you ever thought about going into teaching?
No. Teaching what? No, I no
In your
because that's a
school.
system. No, that's a system, and I wouldn't be able to teach nothing. Nothing of this shit. Nothing I'm saying right now. Are you crazy? This is why
Really?
these kids
So,
don't know
so
nothing. Adrian, when I was in the Queens, seventh grade, what 1990? I don't know, 93 maybe. That's when they took home ec out of school.
wow.
We
Is
was
it
in the
really?
middle. We were in the middle of school. That was my first year, seventh grade.
I
We
love
was in
home ec.
home ec. They took home ec. They took shop. They took all of that out of the school system
I
at
had
that time.
woodworking. I had photography. I had all that stuff.
If it wasn't for my family that was and my father who knew a lot of that stuff and did things, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know half of the shit I know. If it wasn't for my community that I grew up in, I wouldn't know half the shit I know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But my advantage was something that's other people. My privilege, even though I lived in a hood, I was privileged living where I was from.
And I think it's because of our parents, or that
Right.
generation. Hmm.
My elementary school teacher, from what I was told, was a complete alcoholic. But that did not stop. Yo, you couldn't tell. And she was mean. I remember her being a very stern. She wasn't mean. She was stern. But that woman created a space where we learned about ourselves. We had pride in ourselves. It was a community at that school.
And that's the
We
thing too. I
learned
think a
about
lot of these
Africa.
teachers, we
We
don't have a
learned
lot of
about
older teachers now. And all these teachers are like in their 20s.
listen, no, because how about them teachers were 20 something when I was there too? Because when I moved back in 2010 and I had to go to that school to pick up my goddaughter, my second grade teacher was there. I said, Miss Morris?
You still teaching?
And she looked at me, she was like, oh my God. She said, Crystal. I said, wait a minute. How I'm thinking like, yo,
How
how
old are
old are you?
you?
But she didn't look old. She didn't look old. That's what I'm saying. Like she didn't look
She must have
old.
been
But I'm like,
young.
how old were you? She was like 26 when she was teaching us.
So do you think it's the corporal punishment that they took out of the school that makes the teachers not as strict as they used to be?
C
So
era.
now you can't say
It's the
nothing to
C
those
era.
kids.
It's the C era. It's the disrespect of children. Let me tell you something. When I was in, I'll say this. When I was in the seventh grade, I'll say those third and fourth. When I was in elementary school, an adult could break a fight up.
Right.
It would, an adult, somebody else could break that fight up, and we would never think to hit an adult.
Exactly.
We would never think to do that.
Nope. Never.
When
And
let's say
the teacher was
I'm in the
always
seventh,
right.
I'm in the seventh grade now, and so I'm going back to the elementary school to pick up a cousin, third, fourth grade. You wouldn't dare. No adult ain't breaking. Now we bold enough. We don't care. We'll break up them little kids. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
them adults, we watching these little kids. We're hearing these stories, and that's where the divide. Why? Because those are the C era kids.
Yep.
The C era broke that shit up because those parents end up being gone. Those children end up being displaced.
Right.
Now you know what I'm saying, and it's not to glorify it, but that epidemic happened in major black cities.
Yep. Lost generation.
So right. So what do you think? And what did we do? Those major black city dealers went down to those little black major cities down south.
Yep.
In certain cities, you know what I'm saying? So
they were sending their kids down
south. That's where them C era hit those 11, because the C era only hit 11 cities.
Right. I never even thought about that.
They made it seem like it was it's the epidemic of the United States. It's the epidemic of the United. It was only in 11 cities.
Because it hit us hard. That's why.
Right, because we was in New York City.
Yeah, it hit that, but and then at the same time when the HIV came out.
That's right. So we had a double whammy.
Yep.
We had double whammies. We had people unaliving because of the HIV epidemic, the AIDS epidemic, and then we had the C era simultaneously happening to us.
And that was the same time with Reagan. So who's getting rich?
Right. Because they planted that whole C thing at the Capitol.
Yep.
At the White House, they planted that.
Because how was it coming in?
That whole thing was staged. They said that dealer didn't even know that area. They called him. They got in contact with him and asked him to bring them some candy.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here?
I don't know.
We're talking about a setup against our people continuously.
Yep. Because look,
continuously.
There's people still in jail for pot.
Right.
Because that was considered.
But look at all the people Obama let go from the Sierra.
Right.
They forget about that. But we have to remember the system that put them in there did no rehabilitation with those people. And what program did you have for them when they came out?
Right. Came back
because and then you have the poor communication, because they have programs all over the place with these lawyers' offices that be expunging your records, but they don't tell you that shit. You find that out on social media. You find out when a lawyer is willing to tell that, and then you have the people sharing that information. That becomes word of mouth, because they do that here like every 6 months now. and it's crazy because one of my homeboys moved from New York down here and found out about it down here, and now he back in New York trying to clear his shit because they do it in New York.
Look at that, but nobody's talking about it.
Nobody's telling nobody.
But they really need it up in New York.
Right. To get your felony expunged, if you only got one thing on your shit, to get that taken off.
Wow.
Do you know how that can change your life?
Absolutely.
You can't get housing with the charge.
Nope.
With a charge of a felony. They'll use that. And that's why, and that's what DEI was for, to not hold that against you sometimes, depending on the crime.
Right, exactly.
But no, y'all want to get rid of that. And we all know half of y'all is sex offenders.
Jesus.
I'm just saying. The ones that don't, we all know the ones that don't look like nothing. All y'all are the biggest criminal. Y'all are the criminal. Y'all most wanted. Y'all still the most on the most wanted list.
And now this damn app. Weirdos.
We are not the majority on the most wanted list, I don't think. Stop.
No.
Yeah, so stop it. Until that number changes.
And I don't think it'll ever change.
Right. So stop it. Because they are the majority of the savages.
Been savages.
Right. And that's another reason why we can't get ahead.
So what's the solution? Just working on community?
No, ain't no community. Work on yourself. You can only work on yourself. Yeah, and the only way you can work on yourself is by you're gonna have to create community, but you're
Right.
gonna have to find your own community.
Right.
The community is not the macro.
Right, exactly. And I think we so much, especially on this app right here, it's always the macro instead of just worried about the your
Right.
inner circle.
Worry about the 3 people that you fuck with.
Right.
Or worry about the
Exactly.
5 that
Because
he
those
or
people will go
you know.
ahead and work with those 3 people, and those 3 people work with those 3 people, and that's how it
Right.
builds.
Right. And
Everybody goes
then
the wrong
then you
way.
will be then the community will begin to build.
Right, exactly. Instead of because you get overwhelmed by you think
Right.
about all
Start
the
with
large
yourself.
part of it. That you're like,
Start
I'm
with
not gonna do
yourself.
anything because that's just too many people. Well, how about you just start from home?
Start
Start
with
with you.
yourself.
Yep.
Start with yourself. Start
Mm-hmm.
looking in the mirror. Start figuring out what can you do with yourself. What can I better about myself? How can I improve my appearance? How can I improve my inside? How
Your
can I
health.
improve, my inside health? How can I
Mm-hmm.
because if your outer appearance looks good, you'll start feeling better and then you want to feel physically better.
Right. Exactly.
All of that counts, but you gotta want to do it. You have to build the will. You have to build the will.
But that's the thing is that they'd rather just talk about it than be about it because they sit there and
Right.
want to talk about that the larger thing, the larger
You
thing.
have to
What
you
about
have to
yourself?
you have to go and network. Go somewhere. Go get involved in something that you're interested in. You like to paint, go find other people that like to paint. You like to take pictures, go find other people that like to take pictures. You like cars, go find other people that like the type of cars that you like. You like clothes, go find other people that like the type of clothes that you like. You like to watch birds, go find other people that like to watch birds.
But people are scared to be around other people. They
But
just want to stay
you
home.
don't even have to be around them. You can just see where they are and maybe go there. They don't even have to know you there.
Right, exactly.
Because what if they meeting at a park?
Get the fuck out the house.
Get out the house. What if it's at a park? What if it's at a outside event? They ain't gotta really know. You don't have to announce yourself. You don't have to.
No, just show up. Just go to
Just
the
show
park.
up. Just go on Facebook, see when there's an event, and even if you register for accountability, but you don't have to announce yourself.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing. Facebook is such a under you that Facebook event site. I mean, I get a lot of things to do just going to
Yes.
the event site in my local area and what they
Yes.
doing in my local area, and I sit there and I put it on my calendar so that when that
That's
day
it.
comes, I'm like, and that kind of forces me out the house because like I'm committing myself to this event. I'm not
That's
gonna
it.
know anybody. I'm not, but at least I know there's an event in my town that I could go that's usually free that I don't have to pay for, and I can just show up. I don't have to even talk to nobody, but at least I know I'm getting my ass out the house. Because the more you do, the more you're gonna want to do.
If you can't read or write, go get your GED, man.
It's amazing how people don't know how to read and write.
It is. A lot of people don't, and I feel like that's a big barrier. Maybe you don't know how to read or write. Go teach yourself how to read and write, man.
I mean, I'm sure there's an app about it.
There's Google. Go on YouTube University. Look on this app. I'm sure there's a dude on here. He teach himself how to read. It's probably people on here that don't know how to read and write. Go find it.
Right.
Don't. Nobody has to know, y'all. Nobody
Exactly.
has to know.
You don't have to be
Nobody has to
embarrassed about
know.
it. Right.
They only know because you running your mouth. And if you're running your mouth, maybe you need to get some therapy. So then you can go get you some free therapy somewhere, and then you can go talk to them and run your mouth to their ass. Because then they can't tell nobody.
No, they think they're
That's
running
the
their
thing.
mouth. And that's the thing too. Be
That's the beauty of that. You can run your mouth to this person, and they can't tell nobody.
right. But they don't want
You
to do that
coming on
either.
here and you running your mouth to somebody, confiding them, and then they sitting here telling somebody else, and now your shit is out here to 3,000 people, man. Y'all crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Well, I know that I think I like Poetic RN is gonna be doing a live today about menopause and menopause today. And all the different vitamins and all how to stop it. So I do like her. Do you ever see her
Oh yeah, I'll be
Morning
watching.
Sophie Saturdays?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the only probably informative fucking thing that I'll be watching on TikTok anymore.
Yeah, TikTok getting whack with this. Okay, because these people is boring. There's nothing else to, trash is only exciting for a little while.
Yeah, I'm so bored with it. I can't even do it no more. I can't even keep up. I can't even go. And then it's like then they just create shit to me to
Yeah,
make.
they're just making shit it's corny. I don't care.
I don't know. It is
Like, it's boring. It's boring.
because only so much it's the shit that you could do or say. That's
It's,
why I'm
it's
trying to go. But they keep on freaking banana and big fucking keep. I can't wait every time I try to get on a live. I can't
yeah, it's
fucking.
annoying.
It is freaking annoying. But I was on my backup page today. I cleaned up my whole entire house. I cleaned both my bathrooms. I washed clothes, all while being on live today at 2:30 in the morning. So now I'm starting to crash. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of worn out. I did all my emails. I paid bills.
Yes.
So I'm clean and free for the whole weekend. I gotta take my mother to she has this lady that she buys bread from because I guess it's organic bread. I don't know what the hell that is.
Yes.
But I gotta take her to go, and that's another thing too with the older people too. They be eating way better than we do because they didn't grow up with McDonald's and with all that fast food shit.
Hell
So
yeah.
they're into the healthy stuff. So that's my plan today. I gotta pick her up and take her there, and then I ain't doing shit for the rest of the weekend.
No, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Look at God.
Well, that's my motivation to get out the damn house is that I have to take care of my mother, and I guess that's your motivation to keep me young and eat right. Look at my mother. Look, she's still listening.
Yeah. Look, I make sure my mama fresh to death. I make sure her hair cut. I make sure she's straight. I am leaving, getting her up in the morning, leaving, go to work, come back at lunch, make sure she eat, go back to my job, come back home.
Who's gonna take care when you go on when you're coming to Orlando?
My niece's mom is gonna come through because
Okay.
my other niece had a heart transplant. Did I tell you that?
No. Oh my goodness.
Girl,
Really?
that's why I was in Tennessee.
Oh wow.
Yeah, girl, I've been through. That's why I
That's
set my battery
amazing.
on 8, girl. My cousin that passed 2 years ago. His dog died unalived last month, and then my brother's dog unalived Monday,
Oh
like right
wow.
behind. Which my cousin that passed, he passed, and then my brother passed 6 months after him. So it's like a back to back on the dogs too. Like, what is happening?
Dogs too.
What
I'm
the
ready for
fuck?
my dogs
Like,
to go.
what is happening? My niece has this heart transplant. I didn't know that shit happened so fast. Like,
Does she have a bad heart from the
so when my brother passed, we
mhm.
discovered that she had congestive heart failure at 37 years old. And
Bless you.
so the doctor told her, he was like, we're just gonna ride the heart till, it clunk, ride until the
Right.
wheel falls off. Well, we didn't think it was only gonna be 2 years.
Wow.
And so she moved from here
Was that
to
inherited?
She moved from
Don't tell me that.
because my dad, he unalived from congestive heart failure. My
Okay.
sister, congestive heart failure with
Oh
some other
wow.
stuff.
With this
My
family.
my other brother that my father had way before that I didn't really know. He had a heart attack and unalived at 50.
Oh
My
wow.
brother, who was on my mom's side, he had a defibrillator. He had ailments, but he had diabetes and all kinds of other stuff and was smoking and he was one of those C era affected,
Right.
but he worked for the city, retired, but his health was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care what nobody say. It don't matter how long you was on the sea on that candy. It doesn't matter if
No,
it's
that
if it's 6 months, 6 days, or 6 years, 16 years, 26 years. It does not matter.
it was the
You
worst.
will be affected
Yep.
by that candy.
Yep. That
Okay?
candy was no joke.
Every single family member that I know that has dibbled and dabbled in that candy, I can give you every ailment that I'm pretty sure, along with poor diet, has assisted them with going down the toilet in their health and no longer being here with us.
I agree with that too.
Okay?
That shit was crazy. I mean, they called it that word for a reason.
Okay?
Just
When I
that's it.
tell you,
You never work.
right,
You can't repair it.
that's it. You will not be fully repaired from the
Mm-mm.
C era.
Nope.
Not from that
My
candy.
mother's gonna ask me later, "What's the C era?"
Well, you can't say it on here, so
I know. That was like the other day because they're telling her to tap the screen, no, to like the screen. And she's like, Agent, there's no button that says like. I'm like, I know there isn't a button that says like. I was like, you just gotta keep on putting your finger on it.
No, y'all need to. Have you ever seen Hip Hop in the Sierra? That documentary with that Ice-T narrated?
I don't think so.
Please, I need you to go
Where is
watch
it
it. You and your mama. You and your mama. You and your mama. Please. It's it might be on YouTube.
Okay.
Good morning. It's called Hip Hop in the Sierra. I want to say it was on Netflix. There's another one that was on Netflix too. I don't think it's that one, but maybe
it's. Sierra was big over there too.
Oh yeah, you know that. I'm just saying. So you know,
that was hit was states was California and New York.
But look at, so I did not watch Snowfall, and I feel like I didn't watch Snowfall because it was.
I was disappointed. Not disappointed. I was disappointed in our people in that movie. I think that's
but just be mindful. It was the Sierra in that city.
Right.
That's what the Sierra looked like in that city. And so when so I couldn't get past, hey poet, I couldn't get past the third episode. And it like I said, I feel like I was biased because I'm from New York. You know, same thing with BMF. I was not trying to entertain BMF. I was like, this shit is corny as hell. Like, it was interesting, but it was falling off. Why? Because you're not as fly as 80s. You're not as fly as 80s Supreme, man. Stop it. But anyway, listen, you know, you're not as, come on. I'm ready for Kanan Powell. That shit come on tomorrow. Like, stop playing. That's my childhood.
I stopped watching that too. That's something else that I haven't watched. I haven't gotten the first season or the first.
That is my Kanan. That's my childhood. That's my fucking neighborhood. Like, stop playing with me. But anyway. And also, yes, like if you, well, I'm not gonna say that on here anyway, but yeah, you have to watch.
So go to the documentary.
Yes, I'm about to look it up to see what platform it's on. Because that definitely tells you hip hop and
let me ask you this about it, Chris. Do you feel like you got to educate your mom about a lot of things that happened in that era? Because every time I told my mother about something, she's like, I didn't know about this and I didn't know about that. I'm like, but you was a grown up at the time, and she's like, but I was too busy taking care of my kids. I wasn't
and yes, that's my mother says the same thing. She said, now mind you, so I'm gonna say this, that the candy affected us immediately, you know, like you know, within the immediate family. So but maybe not understand it, just being, you know, of course them being older, because at that my mom was 40, my father was 47 when they had me.
Right.
So they were already, you know, they at that age, they're working. They're you know, they're again taking care of children. They're going to work. They're not in the streets. They don't know what's going on out there.
Exactly. And that's what happened with my mother too.
Right. So to know that you're doing something and maybe you stealing or something, that you got to get out of here.
Right.
You're out of here.
Right, exactly.
I'm not dealing with that. And so that's the route that my mom and my parents took when that situation hit home.
Right.
You out of here, and if you don't get it together, you ain't gonna see none of us.
Right. And then again, when my by the time the Sierra came, my parents already moved to Long Island, and that was was a country, so they didn't know nothing was going on over there.
Right. And see, that's the thing. Even where I lived, because of where I lived and the type of people that probably lived there, those were the working people that were going to work, and they wasn't doing that. Now, when we stepped out of that community, and when I say step out of the community, I mean go across the street to the boulevard and go to the store. You know what I'm saying? Like we done stepped out of our community of 20 buildings, and we go out to the boulevard, and we going on the block, and they out there on the block, you know, out there, and you got TNT coming to pick them up, right across the street.
Right, because when my mother was living, because my mother was from Avenue D in Lower East Side. When she was in the projects, and she lived in the projects, there was only Jewish people in the projects. You know what I mean? So that's all she knew about projects, is that Jewish people lived in the projects. By the time she got out the projects, she was already, you know what I'm saying, in Long Island.
Right.
So she didn't experience all that stuff. That's why she was completely like clueless of what was actually going on.
Yeah. See, Yeah, and so again, I'm coming from Southside Jamaica, Queens.
Southside Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah, baby. And
Wow.
so those were neighborhoods of people. These were in Southside Jamaica, Queens. You had and
The working class
you had
mixing.
working class people. These people owned homes. These black people
Those
owned
were
homes.
homes, right?
These that we didn't have. It wasn't a lot of buildings where
Nope.
on in Southside. That's
Nope.
residential.
Right.
My community
Because
that
it's
I
still Long
grew up in.
Island, but not.
Right.
Still on the island.
Right. We still, we right there on the cusp. That's why we was always going to Nassau County. It's right there. Like
Right.
I'm not going to Brooklyn. I never even went to other boroughs. If I didn't have no family there, I wasn't going there. Most of my family is from Queens. So what am I going to the Bronx for? I don't know nobody out there unless we going on a school trip to the zoo.
Right. And that was so far away.
Yeah. Like that shit was a
So
far ass.
far.
We only going on school
And
trips.
then
We
what
went
would be
everywhere
the
on school
purpose?
trip. We went to every museum, but what other
Yes.
reason am I going to Brooklyn unless I'm going on a trip? Because I ain't got no family in Brooklyn like that. So what am I going there for?
Exactly.
So
That's
I'm where I'm from. I'm from
boroughs that they
Southside
lived in.
Jamaica, Queens. I'm not going to Flushing and nowhere else unless I got business or I got family.
And I was in the same borough.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like it's people I didn't know people in my same community because they lived on the other side of the buildings. What you? Oh, you in building one? Now I don't go to that. We had 5 circles. It's 5 circles. I live. You know what I'm saying? It's 5 circles of buildings. It's 20 buildings. You think I know every fucking body in my buildings? No. Hell, I don't even know the people in my individual building. And I lived in that shit for 16 years and then went back and lived another 4. And the people was looking at me like, Krista, you back? I'm like, yo, what's up? It's like I never left because that's the building I grew up in.
And because they're still there.
Right, they're still there. It was still community. Like I came back like I never left. And had been gone for 15
that's a good
years.
thing or a bad thing? That people never left.
Yeah, but now it's different. When I first of all, my people have gone. All my family done moved out of there. My friends have all moved down here. Even people that we grew up with have moved out of that area. So I don't even have a reason to go back there. And so the last time I went to New York, I didn't go back there.
Right, because you didn't know nobody there.
I don't know nobody, and it's not community no more.
Did you do more sightseeing?
Well, I was actually attending events, so I went to a wedding, and so I think that was that last time I went to that wedding. I didn't, that was it, and so I didn't pass there because again doing grown things. I was there doing adult things, having fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there for no business. I'm chilling. So, and again, I have no reason to go and reminisce on a place that there's nobody there no more. I've seen it. I was there. I don't need to reminisce. Oh, this park here. Who cares? This shit look like trash.
It's changed though too, because I know that the last time I went to New York, I went to the South Side, and it was completely different.
Oh, it's different. They got sidewalks. They doing all kinds of shit out there. They doing all kinds. The Starbuckses are coming.
The Starbucks
are coming.
Flatbush. I couldn't believe there was also a Starbucks cups. I was like, how many Flatbush?
Jamaica Avenue is getting tossed up, down, all around. Hotels getting built up. Them apartments gonna be 3,000 a pop. Man, listen, I had my birthday party at that casino. When did I have that? It was fun then. After that big old brawl at that restaurant, we ain't never go back. We wasn't there that night, but we didn't go after that happened. We ain't never go back to that thing. But I had a ball there for my birthday. When I did go there.
Yeah, well,
I'm not a gambler, so I thought it was cool.
I'm not a gambler either.
Yeah, none of us was gambling. It was cool. It was like, yo, this is lit. Let's go. We had fun. Yeah. But,
I did it, right?
But it's just everything, and now with everything that's going on with this administration, I can imagine what the homeless, the unhoused shit look like. Because when I was there, those shelters, all them hotels down there by JFK and up the Van Wyck and up Belt Parkway was all shelters.
Right, and now it's all hotels and buildings on Conduit.
But they're shelters.
Wow,
that's what I'm saying. They're shelters. When I start, because don't forget, I worked for the shelter system. So when I'm looking at the addresses, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's around the corner from me.
Wow.
So now I got a friend. I got a friend in the Bronx, and then I'm sitting here looking at the address, and then he's looking because now he lived in the Bronx, and he's like, yo, it's a shelter over here.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that's happening where, like, remember, like, Howard Beach, right? You couldn't go into Howard Beach. Do you
Mhm.
think that's happened? Do you think those type of communities is the same way they was back in the 80s?
I don't know because I haven't been there,
Yeah, I
and
haven't been there either. Like
I was there when
that's
I was
that's
there
where
when
you don't
Hurricane Sandy
go.
happened. I was there when Hurricane Sandy happened. So that shit was crazy. I was there when all of those things happened. When I moved back
Why?
to New
You
York
know
in
what Howard Beach? What
2010.
wasn't that kid? Didn't that kid get unalive when they went to Howard Beach? Do you remember that back in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was like that was one of those towns like you were just not allowed to go into because they take care of their own. You as soon as you cross over that bridge, it's just like, who are you? What are you doing over here?
Well, I mean,
I wonder if it's
it's
still like that.
places. I think it is because they pay for it to be like that because those are people's neighborhoods.
Right.
I think it's just like down here when you go to certain places like Hilton Head, South Carolina. That's almost like a private beach. When you go there, you parking in like little areas and you going through people's neighborhoods to get to the beach. Ain't no lights out there. You better get your ass out of there by 7 p.m.
So it's still the same.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking because of Howard Beach is just I'm pretty sure they try to that's a private that's still
Right.
private
It's like
property
it's
for those
still private.
people.
The Italians are still running it over
Right,
there.
right,
At
right.
the mo-
Because I hate it. Yeah,
yeah, that
yeah.
was like you weren't allowed to go to Howard Beach. That was it. That was like
Yeah.
no. That was a no.
That's
But that
yeah.
was even in Long Island. There was a certain place. There was a certain line that we were just. My mother was like, "Don't pass that line. You stay between this line and that line." You know how when they say from street corner to
Yeah,
street
because
corner. My
because
mother was like, "You don't go past that line because over there, those people they don't want you over there. So you stay right the hell
and you
right
know
over
what?
there."
That's probably a sundown time.
Right.
That's what they call a sundown time.
In a New York version of a
That's
sundown
right.
town.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. That's right. And we need to identify that. And
Mhm.
so that goes back to those traveling books, the Green Book.
Ooh, right.
That goes back to the Green Book
Mm-hmm.
and the
That's
places
right.
that black people could go. They could, you know what I'm saying? That they
Mm-hmm.
could, and that was word of mouth. And I asked my mom. I said, "Mom," I said, I asked her. I said, "Did you when ask your mother this? When was the first time that they had a vehicle?
A what?
A vehicle?"
Oh, a vehicle? Shit, my
Like
mother told me that the vehicle was that she used to have to sit in the trunk.
no, but when was the first time that they had one?
I don't know.
When
My
did
you
she
still
remember?
there?
Does she remember?
I don't know if I'm pretty sure she remembers. I mean, because I know she always tells me that they didn't have no seatbelts and that she has to sit, the back seat was the trunk.
But I'm asking to say this. I say this. So I asked my mother. I said, "Ma, when did you have a vehicle?" She said, "Well, because I'll say this. My mom's father was a cook on a train,
Okay.
but then he was also light skinned, very very light skinned,
Mm-hmm.
and so they used to drive the train. She used to go to Louisiana. Her uncle had a bar in Chicago, but he was very very light skinned, and so
Yeah,
I
I don't
say
think my
that.
mother ever had a vehicle. Like I don't think my grandparents drove.
Right. So I told my mom, I said, "Mom, you had privilege, right?" And she looked at me like, "What?" I asked her, I said, "When did y'all have a car?" She said, "Well, we was probably about 11." I said, 11 years old? And y'all had a car?
Right. Look, so my mother said, look, she took the bus and train everywhere she went. She never. Well, mom, when was the first time you had a car? It's probably with my father. That's
You know what I'm
probably
saying?
when she got married when my father
So
came back from Vietnam.
and so I asked her, I said, because she was born in Brooklyn. She lived in Brooklyn. They had a house. I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, how'd you get the house?" They said they had a house on Marion Street where I think Crispus Atticus School is right now.
No, so my
You heard
mother,
of that school?
that what school?
Crispus Atticus, I
I
think.
think so. Yeah.
That's on Marion Street in Brooklyn. Well, that's where
Mm-hmm.
their house used to be.
Okay.
But then the city, whatever, and they sold it and they bought a house in Queens.
Gotcha. Okay.
But mind you, of the times, I'm
But
just saying,
which is amazing because like
right?
my mother grew up in the projects in Lower East Side and my father was in Brooklyn. No, so he in Bensonhurst. So he
Um,
had a brownstone in Bensonhurst. That's where he grew up at.
let's be mindful. He had a brownstone in
Mm-hmm.
Benson.
Right. And my aunt still owned that house, and just recently, because I got papers in the mail saying that she just passed away, and then so of course I wasn't in the will, neither was my brothers because we have Puerto Rican. But we had to still have signed papers off saying that we understand that this property, but they had that property up until recently.
I wouldn't have signed that shit. Fuck.
And I'll believe me, I was trying not to sign. Me, and my brothers, I had all types of lawyers trying to figure out how we could get a part of that building.
Nah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look at the privilege, and then look how you can be X'd out.
Right, exactly.
Because that's access to wealth right there.
Right. And not only did she have that brownstone in Brooklyn, but she also had an actual building that had merchants on the bottom.
This is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Look at the access to wealth and how you can be X'd out, or and so I say this to say that there were a lot of people that again, back to Queens in the Black community and ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Those Black people owned their homes in these Black communities, and when the C era came around, what do you think happened? They lost that shit.
All that because they were selling it.
Because they were selling it, mm-hmm. they had to put their houses up for their children because they was going to jail, and they was losing their homes.
Yep. Sure.
So look at the disadvantage that continued to happen after half of these people finagled into bullshit ass mortgage loans to get these houses.
Right. And paying a hell of a lot of freaking interest on them, and then you still don't own them. And then let's see if you could even get them.
Can we go back to these are disadvantages. These are continuous things that have been put on our community to keep us down. We cannot continue to sit here and blame single Black mothers and fathers who are just poor examples of men. You know what I'm saying? And not understand where it comes from.
And the only reason why my parents even was able to get a house was because my father went to Vietnam, and they were able to go get that GI Bill.
And let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the men that went to war, or went into the military. Mm-hmm. And those who had to go and some served, some didn't stay long enough to get the time. It's so many levels of that shit. You got to be in there a certain amount of years to get this. You got to retire to get this. Some of them came back dishonorable because you done sat here and took some drugs because you had to deal with what was going on.
And that was a big part of the C era too, because a lot of them,
or the H era, because the earlier ones they was on the H.
Right.
That was the era, but let's talk about that. The earlier folks, our and we'll say, I'll say with us, Adrian, me especially, because I'm younger with the same generational cycle as you.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm a millennial. I'm not a Gen X.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I was raised by silent generation parents like you. Mm-hmm. And so I grew up with probably the same thought process, but then I also grew up in the C era,
right? Directly.
And so my experiences, I'm coming across, I'm experiencing all of the experiences. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting the mindset of all of these different people who experience different things in their generations. I was raised by my parents who dealt with Jim Crow. My father dealt with Jim Crow. My father was in the military. He retired from the military. He went and he got a skill and he got a job and he did what he was supposed to do. And he took care of his family. You know what I'm saying? He made mistakes. He made mistakes and failed, poor decisions in relationship and had other children and all of those things. Right. But I am, I'm the product of perfection. And I'll say that.
I love that. You are the product of perfection, Crystal.
What the fuck? And so the experiences, in the mind, in the mindset and the objection, the objective view that I have, I see that we keep pounding on each other instead of really reflecting on ourselves and our internal, so that we can be better people. Because if we just be good Care Bears,
she's so cute. Care Bear.
It would just be Care Bears. and be nice and love on yourself, and then you can love on other people. You can't it we and I yo, it's a dude on here. His name, I'm gonna send you the link to him. He's right. He was talking about like revolution. He was like, he said I feel like when you hear revolution, you think about fighting and violence. He said that's not black people's revolution. Our revolution is love. He said, and he said when black people leave with love, you ain't got no choice, but you gonna look out for the next person. You gonna look out for that kid. You gonna look out for your neighbor. You gonna look out for them people because you with love. He said, and the things that have been put against us have been to destroy the love amongst us. You know what I'm saying? Because if I love you, I'm gonna look out for you. That's the camaraderie that we have as a people. Even they were talking about when you dap. They were talking about how the dap came up in the military because that was a silent thing between black men. Like, I got you.
My mother
You know what I'm
heard
saying?
My mother's like, so true, I've heard of him. So do you think the divide came because of, I think the divide came because of the C era.
I do, because that was this dismantle. We were, like I said,
because that movie that you said, Snowfall, right? Like,
Yes.
it really disgusted me that he was selling the seed to his own people. Like, it was his neighbors.
look at,
It was
but
like,
you gotta
don't
look,
you love them enough? The money.
yeah, but look at what that's so. First of all, you gotta understand he was a kid.
Yeah.
We gotta understand. We gotta understand that these was kids out here. You gotta understand when the C era. Let's paint a picture of us. I can paint several different scenarios. I can paint several, and I can bring up several different scenarios of families that may have been affected indirectly or directly. But let's just paint a narrative. I didn't watch Snowfall, but let's just paint a narrative of what the scenario is. Was his father around?
Yes.
What was his father doing?
I think he was some type of city worker. Like, both of his parents were workers.
Okay, so both of their parents were city workers and they were in the home.
And Christian folk. Yep.
And what did Franklin end up doing?
He was actually in college. I think Franklin was even in college.
So Franklin was in college. And how did he come across getting into?
I think I don't remember. I think it was like some type of. He was hanging out with the white tea people.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what it was. And so they put him onto it, and then he went and brought it back to his community and fucked up his whole entire community.
See, I didn't watch Snowfall. Did you watch Kane and Power?
No, I haven't gotten there yet. I told you, just started. I only saw the first Power, and that was it. I didn't go because I didn't like his son. I didn't like his son. It was
no, you gotta watch the Kanan one, which focuses on Queens, New York.
Oh, look, for August
when they was kids. This is before Ghost.
Oh, okay. So this
you have to watch that one because that is more relatable.
That's the one with Mary J. Blige, right?
No.
Okay.
That's the one. This is the one. Who is in this one? See, they ain't big characters. That's the thing. They not big characters.
My mother saw it. She's every day.
So Miss MP. So that's
my mom.
That's I know. Yeah, I know. That's so Miss Mom. Look, I'm not
Miss Pink.
Miss Pink.
Miss P. You could call Miss P.
Miss P. So that was my childhood. Canaan. That's the neighborhood. I didn't live in Baisley Project, but I lived in another. So Belly is real. Belly is more so.
I love Belly.
But that's really my childhood because actually where I live, okay,
that's when it came out.
Right. Miss P. I know you saw Belly.
I don't know shit. I didn't even know that she saw Franklin in them.
No. Wait a minute.
My mother be watching all the TV shows.
Hold on. I know my mama is not back up.
Because you're loud and talking loud. She probably
no. She's.
Well, that means her hearing aid is working.
She lost that child.
But she was so Belly and Franklin, not Billy and Franklin.
No, she good. No, okay. So in Belly, right, the part where it was that little kid that was sitting on the bench and he was the little young dealer.
Right.
That's where I used to live. We know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's where I used to live. And so Nas called it the project. That is not no project. That's co-op. Don't get it.
That's what they used to
We
say,
went crazy
yo.
we went crazy about that when that shit came out.
That's what the sign says.
No, it don't.
They don't say co-op on it.
It says it says co-op. It do not say projects.
Yeah, exactly. On the sign, it always says co-op. I don't
Now
know
they try to play us. I don't have time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Anything ever had the sign projects on it? I don't think we just knew it was the projects, but you don't think it actually said projects.
Hold on, let me go check on my mama real quick.
Check on your mommy. Mommy, Crystal takes care of her mommy. That's what she's doing. That's why she's up so early in the morning. She got to make sure. She said how much, that. So the conversation started because she was saying that Medicare does not pay for hearing aids, and she had to pay $1,000 to pay for her mom's hearing aid because only Medicaid pays for it, but her mother doesn't have Medicaid because she makes so much money, so she can't get Medicaid, so she has to pay $1,000 for her hearing aid. So that's how this whole conversation got started. So now I'm up here. I was going to try to take a nap. Because what time we got to get the bread? They open up at 10, right? That's what happens to Margie too, right? And did Margie makes too much money to get Medicaid? How much you got to make? How much do these old people need? Because old people don't make no money. I wonder what the limit for Medicaid is. Alexa, what's the income limit to get Medicaid for seniors?
I don't know that one.
Of course, Alexa doesn't know that one.
Welcome into my queendom. Come on, come on. When it comes to lyrics, I bring them.
You almost that age, Poetic. What's the age? Poetic can get Medicaid. Can you get Medicare though? Well, that seems like a lot. That's the income limit to get Medicaid? Not Medicare. Because Medicare all seniors get, right? But Medicaid is when you have an income limit. $1,200 seems like a lot of money. For us, well, I don't know. A month? I don't know. You divide that up. That's the max. Okay, well, $1,200. Well, let me see. If you're getting Social Security, you're probably getting about that much, right? Good morning, upper room. I guess, I don't know. Is $1,200 a lot for a senior? It's not a lot for a senior. You got to think about it. Not a lot of seniors have family members that could take care of them, right? So I guess that's not a lot for a senior. So seniors got to sit there and only with $1,200 a month and can't get Medicaid. And so then depending on Medicare, well, anyway, she had to pay $1,000. But she said that they do pay for, if you were blind, if you had vision problems, they pay for that. So you could be deaf, but you can't be blind. Just kind of strange. Don't make me wait.
I'm back.
All right, good. That's okay. They were entertaining me. So Poetic said, because I was telling my mother about the Medicaid versus Medicare, and so I was asking Poetic, and he said that it's the income limit to get Medicaid for seniors was $1,200 a month.
Oh, okay. See, I was saying 9 something from when I used to work. That was years ago, so I didn't know what it was now.
It didn't go up that much.
Yeah, you're right. It's like 12 because I know my cousin gets it, and
at first I was like $1,200 is a lot for a senior, but then you gotta think about it. If they don't have no family members taking care of them,
we talking about $1,200 for the average person who has not been able to sustain $1,200 a month. That's it. That's it. Be mindful. If you end up going to if you end up having to go into like an adult home.
Good morning, ladies. Just real quick, and I'll go back down. It's per state. So and as Crystal was right. So like regular Medicaid, like $967 per month, up until $1,450 per month for couples. But it's like different states, depends on where you live. So like Hawaii, Alaska, and Hawaii, I think they're like $1,781 per month and $2,400 per couple. So it depends on where you are. Well, Alaska $2,200, Hawaii's $2,044. Um,
So it depends on what the because I would think it's expensive to live in Hawaii. Is it because of the cost of living is more expensive?
right,
Why
yeah.
you
So
think?
it's like so it depends on state. Like New York's probably gonna be higher. California be higher. DC be higher. Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, they probably have lower. Like so, they probably fall in somewhere like around the 900 mark. The Carolina is about the same, somewhere in the 900s. But the other states, because based on the COLA, right, and so your income could be the max of like in different places 900, like the South probably, and then the North and going east higher.
That makes
Yeah.
sense, man, but
Yeah.
it's still not
Yeah,
enough.
because like
No,
down
it's still
here,
not a lot. But what you have to do, and then if you find like say good doctors, like if you find like a good, like I say the good, like I don't say good doctors, when you find clever doctors, they know how to write the orders so that so they can make things. If you have a relationship with the doctor, usually they have somebody in the office who say, well, we're gonna write the order this way so that your insurance will pay for it.
But was that something that would apply to you would think for hearing aids? Because that's what
Yeah, anything. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because there's certain reasons why. Let's say, for example, if you've had some type of, let's say you had an injury some time ago, could be job related or somebody, so they can write an order that this is contingent upon. I mean, this is as a result of this particular. So, and then that would cover up under, So if let's say if I just walked in generically and I needed hearing aids and I had to pay out of pocket.
right.
Yeah,
So
but,
she doesn't
but
know
if you
how
have
to
a good
manipulate
relationship
the
with the
system.
person
That's
who you're
what you're trying
seeing,
to
they
say.
have people in the office who, because the whole idea, everybody wants to get, the whole idea is to get paid. So the resolve is like they'll do whatever they have to do to get paid. They'll write an order because nobody's going to use a contest. Very rarely they contest unless it's just something that just far blown out of proportion.
That makes sense. I don't think people in the South are very honest people, church
So,
working people.
so for example, I don't know if you like I have a handicap hanger. I don't qualify for it, but I had a lady in the doctor's office write the order for me to have one.
Right. But do you think it's because the doctors in like cities are more corrupt than doctors in the South?
I wouldn't say corrupt. I think they're more progressive as like if it's available and it's not going to impact them in any way, shape, or form as far as their credibility,
Right.
and yeah, they no, they're and again, and remember, in my case, wasn't a doctor, but it was a lady at the office who wrote it. I mean, but I mean,
Of
it was
course,
his.
it was a lady.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, oh no, but there was no relationship. I mean, just good conversation, but there was no. It was like quid pro quo. Like I think I gave her something that benefited her, and she took care of me on that. So that's
Of course, I was kidding. It was a
no.
joke.
I mean,
And it was it was your flattery.
yeah, probably so. I,
Yeah,
I,
I
I
think
wish
it
I
was
wish
your
that flattery
flattery.
worked everywhere. I'd be
And
way ahead.
flattery goes a long way.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep using it. I'm using flattery in about 20 minutes. Hopefully, maybe it'll give me some money. Anyway,
To get money. Not a service. Let's get some
no,
money.
not a service this morning. Look, probably a service maybe around 12 o'clock, but that'd be another flattery. Yeah.
Another flattery. Well, that's good. As long as you listen, it's always great when you're in great spirits, whether you give it or receive it, right?
Right, right. In fact, I'll be with the Italians today, so I'll be able to offer a little flattery to them and see what happens.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure they love that flattery.
Well, I don't know.
It depends on who's around.
Right,
Tell your
right. If they're
brothers
by
are
themselves,
around.
if there's some people watching, they make like I'm talking to myself, or or they be like they're calling like the moley, or the goofball,
A
goofball.
movie, a
Yeah.
movie. I haven't been around a bunch of Italians in a very long time. Do Italians? My mother said, "Let's go back to Crystal."
Oh yes, ma'am. Yes, that's probably Crystal. Yes. What was Crystal doing? Because I stepped away. What was she dancing or something?
Yeah. Was she dancing?
Yeah.
No, she wasn't dancing. I mean, Crystal be dancing. She was talking about senior citizens. That's all my mother was.
Oh,
very
okay. Oh, okay.
Senior citizens.
But yeah,
Even
but
though you are a senior, are you considered a senior citizen poetic?
I think your mom's too young to qualify for that. I would think.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
No, she definitely. I'm about to be a senior citizen. I don't want to be a senior citizen.
Yes, I do have senior citizen entitlements. Yes, I get a chance to use the senior card. Yes.